The response from your department shows external consultants received almost $11.5 million.
Every day it's non-stop action here in Canada. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. In today's top stories, we've got the leader of the Provincial Party of Quebec, Francois Legault, calling the Bloc leader Blanchette to vote with Pierre Poilievre and get Justin Trudeau out of power. We also got Justin Trudeau's Minister of Transport, Pablo Rodriguez. I mentioned this yesterday. He's stepping down. Well, he's now speaking on it. Turns out he's becoming an independent. We've also got Jagmeet and Marc Miller and another Liberal getting grilled on the streets. Specifically, Marc Miller, they start doing the math with him on immigration. You got to check this out. This one posted by Right Blend. Again, this is Daisy Media and Right Blend together. They're double teaming. They very politely, I'm not going to say they heckle or harass or whatever. They very politely asked Jagmeet about his incident there when he was going full knuckles on that other guy.
Mr. Singh, first off, I'd like to just let you know that I'm not a bully. I'm not dangerous or violent or anything like that. I'm just a Canadian citizen practicing the right of journalism. I was wondering, though, if you'd care to comment on that incident on the Hill. If you'd care to comment on the incident on the Hill. The one where you were in a guy's face, calling, I believe you called him a bully.
We're going to work, guys. Nothing else to say.
He can answer for himself.
Yeah, I've already put it out.
Okay, well, the Canadians are very concerned, right? Like, I get foul language and accosting people definitely isn't okay. But Canadians are very concerned, right? There's a lot of people with a lot of grievances, and we have inaccessible politicians. Your government and you and your party in particular have been propping up the Liberals for a long time, right?
Going on the street there, folks.
You've been propping them up and holding Canadians hostage for a long time, and calling Canadians bullies, getting in their face, and dismissing the concerns of Canadians does not help. The rhetoric that you're putting out is contributing to the mayhem and just bicycle away, I guess.
This guy looks like such a goof on this bike. I'm sorry, I had to say it. I mean, look at little Jag on his bike here. Look at this guy. Where did he get this bike? Why does he have this weird bike? Oh God. I mean, that was very polite approach by Chris Dacey there. He only gave him the, no, I'm not doing that.
You've been propping them up and holding Canadians hostage for a long time, and calling
That's not true, I guess. That's not true, according to Jagmeet. Jagmeet on his little box bike here. This looks ridiculous. It's a decommissioned ice cream bicycle, I believe. Next up, they go up to Julie DeBrusen. This is a Liberal. Someone accompanying Liberal MP Julie DeBrusen accused us of accosting her. Get your facts straight. Asking our elected representatives questions on a sidewalk is not accosting. So they're not happy about this.
Hello, Julie. Being a Torontonian myself, and I know you're a member of Parliament in Toronto, it was really nice to see John Stewart stand up in the House. You look at that. This is a member of Parliament who has great...
You know what? Members of Parliament should be accountable to the people of this country. Nobody's accosting anybody here. We're at an intersection. You'll walk across the street and we will not follow you. So please don't misrepresent the situation.
You also have a completely inaccessible government, hostile to its people, now going to be propped up by separatists.
Well, they got called out. I wonder what they're thinking about that, especially with her six-figure salary. Our government is full of weak, incompetent people. Good job, guys. Keep doing this. Big support. Next up, we got the absolute best one here. This is Marc Miller. They start doing the math with him. They start just laying it out for Marc Miller that the immigration in Canada here doesn't work. Says here, Liberal Immigration Minister Marc Miller said he knows I don't like immigrants. That is not true. I don't like reckless immigration policies that are harming all Canadians.
Minister Miller, thank you. Are you going to take accountability for the destructive immigration policies that you have, sir?
I understand you don't like immigrants.
I understand you don't like immigrants. That's what Marc Miller just said.
Excuse me, sir, that's a false misrepresentation of me. I actually appreciate all Canadians, but I don't appreciate our infrastructure being overrun with reckless policies that burden our hospitals, take jobs from young people, and take housing options away from our communities. Sir, that's the fact. It's a simple supply and demand equation. We have too many people coming in and we cannot accommodate them. This has nothing to do with not liking immigrants. This has everything to do with liking Canadians and protecting our Canadian economy so that we can actually take these people in and actually accommodate them. So can you justify why we're taking in more than 1 million people a year, sir?
It's very easy.
How many houses does Canada build, sir? Dwellings to accommodate 1 million new people every year. Does hospitals have enough places for 1 million new people needing health care every year, sir?
Dismissing us as racist does not solve the problem either. And it's a major problem with the rhetoric of your government.
Yes.
You think it's okay to call Canadian citizens racist because you want to avoid the conversation? We don't have.
Yes,
you said
sir,
we have a problem with immigrants.
Sir, that is a misrepresentation. That is dishonesty, and it's everything that I would expect from your despicable government.
Get him. Get him.
Yes, you are.
He came up to you respectfully and asked you a question.
Not liking immigrants, sir. You accuse me of not liking immigrants, sir. That's not true. Thank you.
Liar and a coward.
That was a very respectful approach. It's not like he's yelling F Trudeau or whatever. Straight up questions. Put the numbers there. You know, 1 million people. How many houses we building? He didn't want to answer the question. He knew the answer to that. Please keep up the great work you and your team do. Miller's a traitorous bag, just like the rest of them. For sure, a public humiliation ritual similar to old Garrison should make him pause. Despicable behavior of the supposedly morally righteous side of politics. Keep up the great work, man. We got Pablo Rodriguez. He's going to be running for the Liberal Party, provincial party of Quebec. He stepped down. Now he is a independent in the House, which means his minister seat needed to be filled.
Why are you sitting as an independent? Are you trying to leave Justin Trudeau behind?
Because now I have the opportunity to set my own priorities. I was defending the priorities of the government and then did it in a very loyal way. And it's normal and it's what I had to do. But now it's more about my vision, the vision of the team that I'm building. That's what I'm going to put forward for Quebecers.
There are motions of confidence that are coming. How will you vote on motions of confidence? With the government or not?
Well, I saw that Mr. Legault was asking this morning for the Bloc to defeat the government, and if he wants to run federally, I know a riding that will be free very soon.
But your decision. You're now going to be sitting.
I don't see why. I don't see why there would be elections now. I don't see why it would benefit.
I'm not asking about an election. I'm asking about a vote.
I don't see what elections would benefit at this moment anyone. So I would vote no.
I know, but do you have confidence in the Trudeau government?
It will be the policies that I think that are good for Quebec and for Quebecers. And I'm going to concentrate on that. What the federal government does on its side, it's their job. I'm not there.
So he's basically kind of saying he did his job with the Liberals. He's done with the Liberals. He's really trying to just sit in between and not be involved. This is very interesting. He's left Trudeau hung out to dry, basically. Next up, we got this one here, Vasi Capello, CTV.
The premier of that province has voiced for a long time now, months and months, that he has a lot of concerns about immigration into Quebec, in particular around the temporary resident population. He wants it essentially halved, and particularly he wants the federal government, who he sees having jurisdiction over hundreds of thousands of these temporary residents, to do that themselves, to have that population. He said today in French, and I'm going to play the clip for you in a moment, that he wants to see the Bloc Québécois essentially topple the government over the issue of immigration, to vote against the Trudeau government and force an election. Have a listen to how he posed it in French.
So I've got the clip here in English for you. It's translated on the screen. It's better than listening to Grey Poupon.
Demander à son camarade du Bloc québécois de reculer, de ne pas appuyer le gouvernement Trudeau la semaine prochaine, puis de défendre les intérêts des Québécois puis de la nation québécoise.
Premier Legault basically wants the PQ to ask the Bloc Québécois to bring down the Trudeau government in an upcoming non-confidence vote, which will trigger a federal election. How did he reach that point? And will he get what he wants?
To bring down the government, isn't it a dangerous game you're playing right now?
For months, Legault has been asking Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to reduce the influx of non-permanent residents. The Premier maintains it affects the province's public services and the future of French, especially in Montreal.
This is a smart man. He knows Pierre Poilievre is going to be in power. He's trying to make a better working relationship with him before he gets into power. He's already been calling for immigration to be limited. They want it 50%. It's not working with Trudeau and the Liberals. Why would he bend to the Liberals or to Blanchette and the federal Bloc party makes no sense. I think it makes total sense just for him to say, hey, let's get this guy out of power and let's have an election. He knows Poilievre's going to win.
He says he has had enough.
Jusqu'à présent, les seuls gestes qui ont été annoncés par M. Trudeau sont non significatifs. On est toujours autour de 600 000 immigrants temporaires.
Now, more specifically, he's calling on the leader of one of his opposition, one of the parties in opposition to him, the Parti Québécois. He's asking him, he said, to have the courage to speak to the leader of the Bloc Québécois and compel him, Yves-François Blanchet, to bring down the Trudeau government over this issue. Here's the response from the leader of the Bloc.
Part of what we both want is the same. We want more powers for Quebec in immigration because only Quebec should administrate this issue for Quebecers and make sure that immigration is successful. We want the same thing, but he wants to beat Mr. Saint-Pierre Plamondon, and I don't. So this is where the difference lies, basically. And if he is patient, a few weeks, maybe Santa Claus will come and give him an election.
The guy's such a goof. Why do we even have a Bloc party? Why is there a federal party that represents one province? This makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Otherwise, why don't we have a federal Alberta party and a federal Ontario party and a federal BC party and a federal anything else party?
So what can we read into all of those comments? Gilles Duceppe served as the leader of the Bloc Québécois for a total of 15 years and a member of parliament for 2 decades. He's with us live now. Mr. Duceppe, good to see you. Thank you so much for making the time.
It's a pleasure.
So she's going to talk to a former Bloc leader here. He babbles a whole long, boring story. We're going to jump halfway through.
Because the Bloc proposed a law that was voted unanimously in the House to give the people over 65 the same pension than those over 75. So the Bloc is asking that the Liberals give this royal sanction to that project. And if they gave it, we obtain it. Then the Bloc, if they obtain that, they could come back with another demand. And if not, they could ask for a motion of non-confidence. They could even play a funny way by asking all parties not to support anymore getting subsidies to the oil companies. And then we'll see how the Tories will vote. I'm pretty sure the Conservative will vote with the Liberals saying we maintain those subsidies, then we'll have a Liberal Conservative government. That'd be funny.
That would be funny. Mr. Giuseppe.
So what this guy's rambling on about is that Yves-François Blanchet, the Bloc leader, basically wants to get this royal ascension of the 65-year-old pensions be the same amount as the 75-year-old pensions in Quebec. Quebec's pensions for the 75 plus are more than the 65. So that's what their kind of bargaining chip is with Trudeau right now. But it doesn't seem to matter because Jagmeet is going to vote with Trudeau anyways. So I don't know if he's going to get that from Trudeau now, or does he have to dangle that a little bit longer until Jagmeet decides to not vote with Trudeau? But we know that's not going to happen until after February because he needs that pension. So moving on here, after Pablo Rodriguez turned into an independent and stepped down as the Minister of Transportation, Anita Nand has now been put into that role. This is her getting sworn in.
I, Indira Anita Anand, do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that I will truly and faithfully and to the best of my skill and knowledge execute the powers and trusts reposed in me as President of the Treasury Board and as Minister of Transport.
Yeah, not likely.
Indira Anita Anand.
So they're going to do that in French now. They have to be sworn in. Why? Like a bunch of these thieves, all they lie, cheat, and steal. Nothing ever happens to them. Why even bother go through with this? Next up, we got this. I thought was pretty funny. This is an NDP post. It says Justin Trudeau will always cave to corporate greed. He can't be trusted to help working families on the cost of living crisis. Jagmeet Singh and the NDP can. And so we've got new poll shows Canadians believe Jagmeet Singh is a better leader than Justin Trudeau. Look at this face, this sad face Trudeau, and then we got greasy Jagmeet here with a big greasy smile. Come on, this is so dumb. Who conducted this survey? You guys? Did you ask 5 people? Where's Pierre Poilievre? He's off the charts way up here. They're trying anything, and it's just pathetic. We've got this clip here posted by Senator Don Plett. I notice he's been kind of active. I don't know what his situation is, if he's actually retired or not, but it says Minister Dominic LeBlanc won't commit to scrap the NDP Liberal government's firearm buyback program, which has cost Canadians at least $67 million so far. This is a program that doesn't even exist yet. How do they waste that much money? It's unbelievable. I don't know how someone would waste that much money on something that doesn't exist. And to top it off, they spent $11.5 million of taxpayers' hard-earned money on external consultants. Of course they did. Justin Trudeau's got a lot of friends that need to get paid, right?
Recent written response from your department to my colleague Senator Plett shows that the NDP Liberal government's firearms buyback program has now cost Canadians at least $67 million, without a single firearm being bought back by your government. In the written response, Public Safety said that as of June 19th, it has spent $56.1 million on this program. As well, the RCMP said it had spent just over $11 million. This is an incredible amount of money to spend on a program that doesn't yet exist, which ultimately targets licensed, trained, law-abiding gun owners, not criminals. Minister, will you scrap this program?
Monsieur le Ministre.
No, Madam Speaker, no, absolutely not. In fact, we're going to launch the program. We're going to start with phase 1 in the coming weeks that will buy back from gun stores, from gun dealers, well over 10,000 guns that are now illegal and are in their inventory, and that the government will compensate these businesses and proceed to dispose of these assault-style firearms. It won't surprise you that
dispose of them? Our military is lacking new weaponry. Why would you not just send that to the military so they have extra weapons? Are these guys just completely brain dead?
I don't share your view that we're targeting law-abiding gun owners. I understand you repeat the partisan talking points from your leader's office. That's not the case. You know very well that's not the case, Senator, and I hear those same phrases in the other place, but I'm happy to provide the same answers that we give in the other place. Canadians support these measures. We're proud of the program that we're going to launch. It was a commitment we made to Canadians in an election, and we've done a lot of good work in getting this ready, and I look forward to launching the details of the buyback program in the coming weeks.
Senator Martin.
Well, I know that there are concerns among the law-abiding gun owners, and so this is a very important issue. The response from your department shows external consultants received almost $11.5 million out of the $67 million spent. So, Minister, would you table in this chamber information related to contracts provided to consultants under this program? And for each contract, could you provide the name of the vendor, the value of the contract, the start and end dates, and a summary of the work provided?
Yes, that's what we need.
Madam Speaker, through you to the Senator, when I announced details of the beginning of the buyback program, we will be offering considerable details in terms of how the program will operate, the amount of money that will be provided in terms of compensation. This program in no way targets sports persons or Indigenous persons who hunt for subsistence or who practice a sport. This is designed to get military-style weapons off the streets. As I say, it was a campaign commitment we made. We recognize that the taxpayers' money needs to be expended judiciously, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Unbelievable. These guys waste so much money on the worst, stupidest things ever. Dominic LeBlanc here, he is just such a filthy little rat. Just one of Trudeau's right-hand men. The guy can be trusted about as far as a hippo can jump. Where did the money go? It's paying all the activists calling for this legislation? Don't worry, Don, the budget will balance itself. More corruption and taxpayer theft of this disgusting Liberal Party. It's never ending. Rotten to the core, every single one of them. $11.5 million on external consultants. Seriously, LeBlanc? Seriously? Yeah. Who are these consultants? Trudeau's mom? Dominic's mom, his brother, his sister, family members. Let me guess, it's Dominic Barton, your good friend Dominic Barton. Next up, we got this here. It says, interesting license plate spotted in Brampton. Brampton is not a real place. So we've got a Best Way food market, Pakistani and Indian grocery truck.
Get me the f out of this city, bro. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
So this is in traffic, a handwritten license plate.
Getting tickets for noise out of my car because of speakers, and motherfuckers are driving around with this. Ontario.
Brapton.
Yo, Brapton. He's brapping. What? Fam, come on.
I'm starting to think Brampton is a made-up place. You can get away with anything in Brapton. It's lawless. Third world. There we have it. So Trudeau's minister completely just detached himself from the Liberals. We've got a Quebec premier calling for an election. He wants a federal election. Jagmeet's still backing his buddy Trudeau. And Blanchet, what's he going to do? He's going to squeeze Trudeau for as much as he wants, and then he'll vote against him. But Jagmeet still has to turn the tides. So how long is this going to go on before we actually get an election?